Call this legislative hearing to order. Today we're here to talk about S 1514, the Hunting Heritage and Environmental Legacy Preservation for Wildlife Act, HELP for Wildlife. The bill is comprehensive, it's bipartisan, designed to enhance recreational hunting and sport fishing activities, to ensure common sense environmental regulation, and to protect wildlife and wildlife habitat. I introduced this bipartisan bill along with Senators Cardin and Capito and Klobuchar and Bozeman and Baldwin. The bill has been additionally co-sponsored by Senators Enzi, King, and Johnson. I thank them for working with me in crafting the legislation that the Theodore Roosevelt Conservation Partnership has called the strongest legislative package of sportsmen's priorities in years. The Help for Wildlife Act does a number of things. First, it protects wildlife and wildlife habitat across the country by reauthorizing important environmental programs. Among others, the bill reauthorizes until 2023 the North American Wetlands Conservation Act, the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation Act, the Neotropical Migratory Bird Conservation Act, the Chesapeake Bay Program, and the Chesapeake Bay Gateways Grants Assistance Program. The bill also provides for enhanced recreational shooting and sport fishing activities. The bill finalizes partnerships among public agencies and other interested parties for promoting fish conservation across the country that will create new recreational sport fishing activities and opportunities. The bill also ensures that lead tackle, which is widely used by anglers, is not unnecessarily regulated under the Toxic Substances Control Act, a position reaffirmed twice by the Obama administration. The bill also promotes the building and expansion of public target ranges for recreational shooting. Finally, this bill ensures common sense environmental regulation that protects species as well as farmers and ranchers. The bill prevents farmers from being held liable for bird baiting for hunting purposes if they adhere to USDA and state agriculture best practices. The bill also prohibits judicial review of the final Obama administration rule delisting the recovered gray wolf in Wyoming that was reinstated by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia on March 3rd of 2017 and republished on May 1st of 2017. The bill also mandates the reissuance of the final rule delisting the gray wolf in the western Great Lakes, and it prohibits judicial review. The Help for Wildlife Act has garnered tremendous support from the environmental and the sportsmen's communities. Over 50 different organizations have endorsed the Help for Wildlife Act, diverse groups such as Ducks Unlimited, which will be testifying today, the National Wildlife Federation, Trout Unlimited, the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, the Association of Fish and Wildlife Agencies, the Choose Clean Water Coalition, the American Sport Fishing Association, the Boone and Crockett Club, Safari Club International, the Congressional Sportsmen's Foundation, and the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, just to name a few. Many groups in my home state of Wyoming have also submitted written testimony in support of the bill, including the Wyoming Association of Conservation Districts, the Wyoming Stock Growers Association, the Wyoming Farm Bureaus Federation, the Wyoming Wool Growers Association, and the Wyoming County Commissioners Association. Former Democrat Governor Dave Friedenthal, who I think emailed you yesterday, was also submitted written testimony in support of the Help for Wildlife Act. I ask that all their written testimonies be submitted for the record. I will also note that my friend Brian Nesvik, the Chief Game Warden with the Wyoming Game and Fish, is testifying today in support of the bill. It's an honor. I had the honor of spending time with Brian on several occasions in 2009, including Thanksgiving dinner. At the time, he was deployed to Kuwait as the commander of the second of 300th Field Artillery Unit, which had the mission of running convoy operations into Iraq in a very dangerous time. So thank you very much, Brian, for coming to be with us today to testify. Just as with the WILD Act and the Nuclear Energy Innovation and Modernization Act, which both passed this committee earlier this year with strong bipartisan support, this bill is another example of how we can work together, both Democrat and Republican, to help protect the environment and grow the economy. So I look forward to working with my colleagues on moving this important legislation out of the committee and pass it to the Senate floor. With that, I look forward to the testimony of our ranking member for his opening statement.